Online training best practices. Putting your training online allows you to offer participants both synchronous or in person and asynchronous or independent training options. This helps trainers offer their learners greater choice and voice in how they want to be trained. Online training doesn't eliminate the need for in person training, but rather can complement it as part of a blended, continuation, or follow up training program. Learners can be given the option of studying online on their own time and at their own pace, or, if they need greater support, opting to attend an in person training session. This allows the trainer to spend more time focusing on just those learners who need more one on one attention. And finally, how many times have you heard, "This training doesn't apply to me"? By uploading your training programs online, you can now give your trainees the option to maximize their training time by letting each of them select which online PD modules best reflect their job duties and interests. They can then be directed to use their development time to focus on those modules independently. So, what are some of the best practices for hosting a synchronous training session? To start with, try using a mixture of activities to break up the instruction. When possible, keep each activity short, at about 20 minutes maximum per activity. And try to keep the training meaningful to your audience. This is particularly important for adult learners. Connect the why and the value behind each activity. Now, what are the best practices for asynchronous trainings? You might be surprised to find that the best practices for asynchronous trainings are very similar to that for in-person training. Except in this case, you want to use a mixture of media to break up the instruction. Similarly, try to keep each media as short as possible. And again, be meaningful. Connect the why and the value behind each activity. So, what do we mean by short media? Learners, even adult learners, can maintain attention only for so long. Therefore, break up or chunk activities. Keep activities for in-person trainings to about 20 minutes maximum when possible. For online trainings, a good rule of thumb for the length of activities is as follows: 9 minutes maximum per video, 15 content slides maximum for presentations, not including decorative slides, and 3 pages maximum for any issued readings. Let's also talk briefly about the importance of chunking content or breaking down longer media into more bite-sized chunks for learners. What would you prefer as a student? One long video or several smaller chunked videos? On average, learners are more likely to gravitate to several shorter instructional videos. A single longer video can easily make learners feel overwhelmed. When it comes to assessments, for both synchronous and asynchronous instruction, you will also want to keep the assessments short. This means 15-question quizzes maximum or 20-minute activities at a maximum. And make sure your assessments are connected to the instruction. Try planning backwards where you start designing your assessments before designing the instruction to match. Let's also cover a few best practices for online instructional design. First, always use clear audio and images. Instruction won't be helpful when it cannot be clearly seen and heard. One tip is to use sans serif fonts for all online media, large enough to see clearly. Dual coding theory suggests that if media isn't directly supporting learning, it can actually harm retention and understanding. For this reason, try to keep ornamental images and audio to a minimum. Lastly, when feasible, break up instruction into sections in which learners receive information, but must also interact with or apply that information. The goal for Miss.mo is to offer an open platform for trainings that anyone in a related field of education could find useful. As a result, we strongly dissuade schools from uploading trainings that are relevant to their specific staff only. This means any training that covers any back-end procedures that are only practiced at your school. Trainings like this make the resulting badges not particularly useful for those who have earned them because they only carry meaning for a single school, which isn't very fair or enticing for the learners. Additionally, any other user on the Miss.mo platform can find and enroll in any available training program, which may not be what you want if you are sharing private back-end practices with your staff. Please adjust your online training programs so that anyone who enrolls in them, including staff from other schools, could find them useful. Any accompanying in-house only training materials should be shared out to your staff privately. Let's take a brief moment to mention FERPA and COPA, or student privacy laws. Be very careful not to share student information or staff information within the context of your tutorials, training videos, or sample files. Thankfully, many image capture and screen share programs offer tools that will allow you to blur out sensitive information in your imagery. See Awesome Screenshot or Screencast-O-Matic for examples. Now that you have an understanding of the best practices associated with online instruction, let's move on to discussing some technologies and tools you can use to get started in building your training. Note that Miss.mo is not affiliated with any of these suggested resources. Here is a list of some popular video recording software solutions you can use to record video lessons. Note that each website should contain tutorials on how to use them. Screencastify is an add-on for Google's Chrome browser. It allows you to take quick, short video recordings and then automatically saves them to your Google Drive. Screencast-O-Matic offers a large number of tools, including both a desktop and cloud-based version of their video recording software, video editing software built right into the program, and a wide variety of video markup tools, all of which are particularly helpful for instructional videos. And lastly, InVideo is a great option for designing particularly beautiful instructional videos. Here is a list of some popular image capture and presentation software solutions you can use to create presentations. Awesome Screenshot is a great add-on for the Chrome browser. It allows you to quickly mark up screenshots and other images. Google Slides is very useful for online trainings since users do not need to download any software to view the presentations. And finally, Prezi is a great option for creating particularly beautiful presentations. Here is a list of some popular document editing software solutions you can use to create and convert documents. Small PDF is great for converting PDFs into Word documents, and Google Docs, in turn, is great at converting Word documents into editable documents that anyone can access. Speaking of access, OnlineOCR.net can help you convert scanned PDFs into text that is usable for screen readers. Here is a list of some popular file storage and link shortening tools you can use to store and share documents and web pages. Google Drive is perhaps the most widely used and accessible cloud storage and file sharing solution available. Bitly, or bit.ly, is a great resource for creating customized short links. And QR Code Monkey is a fun tool for creating QR codes to direct users to web pages. There are numerous methods for getting support to help figure out the software you can use to digitize your training programs. Check out the Miss.mo How-To Knowledge Base. It's filled with tutorials to help trainers get started. Also, visit the Miss.mo peer-to-peer support group where you can ask our community of trainers for ideas and support. You can even use the Miss.mo training portal to search for trainings and digital badges provided by others on specific software and tools. Thanks for watching. For more information on digital badges, please visit www.miss.mo.